चलेंगे सऊदी अरब के दारुल-हुकूमत रियाद, जहां पर वज़ीर आज़म इमरान खान आलमी सरमायाकारी कॉन्फ्रेंस में शिरकत कर रहे हैं।
Meant to be. Pakistan was the only state, well, one of the two states made in the name of an ideology which was Islam. So when we talk about Naya Pakistan, it is going back to the vision of the founding fathers of Pakistan. And what the founding fathers of Pakistan envisaged was a state based on the principles of the first Islamic state of Medina. And those principles were justice, meritocracy, a welfare state where the state took responsibility for the weaker section of the society, and above all, state to educate its people. So these were the principles which, very lofty principles, why Pakistan came into being. So when we talk about Naya Pakistan, it means going back to the principles of what the founding fathers stood for. And hence, the struggle to educate our people, develop our human resources, strengthen our institutions, especially of justice. Sadly for us, some of those principles are more visible in, say, the Scandinavian republics, say in Switzerland, say in New Zealand, than in Pakistan, what was supposed to be an example for what an ideal Muslim state was supposed to be.
You've mentioned so many important points that I'm going to go back to one by one. So working on human capital, fighting corruption, empowering the economy. Walk us through the economic agenda of your government now.
Well, we have been in power for 60 days. We have inherited two big deficits: fiscal deficit, current account deficit. And so the immediate concern for our government is to increase our exports. We need to increase our exports because we have shortage of foreign reserves because of our current account deficit. We need to get more remittances through the banking channels because there are about 8 to 9 million Pakistanis who work abroad, who are living abroad. So we need to bolster our foreign exchange reserves, immediate improvement in exports, giving incentives to the exporters, getting Pakistanis to send remittances through the banking channels, because then we would have enough dollars. At the same time, clamping down on money laundering. It's a problem in most of the developing world where the money leaves the country through illegal channels, and then create the opportunities for investment. So these are the immediate measures we have been taking in these 2 months. Obviously, to get through this difficult period, we're looking for loans.
And that's actually my next question, because with such an ambitious agenda, you require resources. How does your government plan to overcome the existing financing gap? Are we talking about loans, IMF program? What are the options you have on the table?
Well, whatever reforms we do today, the impact will be in maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year's time. So right now we need to have loans to go through this difficult period of repaying or servicing our debts for our imports. So we are talking to both IMF, and also we are talking to friendly governments that we could go through this difficult period to get loans.
So you might be applying for another IMF program?
Yes, we're talking to the IMF. What we are hoping is that we can do a bit of both, get some loans from friendly governments, at the same time get a loan from the IMF. And so to go through this period, which we feel we have a tough period of corruption. And secondly, corruption diverts money from human development to mega projects which give mega kickbacks, which leave a country indebted. So Switzerland is one of the most prosperous countries in the world because it has very good governance, it has strong state institutions, and it uses the money to develop its human resources. So in Pakistan, the challenge is, how do we strengthen our institutions enough to make it impossible for people to be corrupt, or corruption at a level which is manageable? And secondly, divert the resources to develop our human resources. This is the challenge of Pakistan. So what we've been trying to do since we've been 60 days in power is to strengthen the state institutions, develop meritocracy. The reasons why state institutions get destroyed is because cronies have been put in key positions who then, once there is no meritocracy in a state institution and there's no rule of law, the state institutions do not prevent anyone from stealing money from the country. So this has been the main agenda of our party. And then secondly, to prioritize institutions that will help the exporters. So hence we have made all the laws at the moment to help our exporters.
Unemployment also is a main concern for you. You've been very concerned about youth unemployment, training youth to be able to find jobs and creating jobs. Tell us more about the agenda in that particular field.
Pakistan has 100 million people below the age of 35.
Yes.
Now, in one way, that's a huge opportunity. But secondly, it is a big pressure on the government to find employment for this young population. We have embarked on a very ambitious program. Pakistan has 10 million shortage of houses. So we have embarked on this program that in the first 5 years, we will build 5 million houses. And so hence creating all the conditions, removing all the red tape that comes into the housing sector. Also, of course, trying to attract foreign investment for this housing. At the same time, apart from the housing, what we are trying to do is create the enabling environment for investment. One of Pakistan's strengths are the overseas Pakistanis. We have, as I said before, 8 to 9 million Pakistanis working abroad. We have, if we create the enabling environment, we will then be able to attract their investment. If you see the growth of China and India, one of the biggest, the first people who invested were the overseas Indians.
रियाज में साली कॉन्फ्रेंस में वज़ीर आज़म इमरान खान का सवाल और जवाब के सेशन में गुफ्तगू, उनसे मुख्तलिफ सवालात किए गए। पाकिस्तान में क्या एजेंडा है और मईशत के हवाले से क्या जो है वो लाहिया